So we're a bit more than halfway through from where we started the hike at I think it was elevation 200 meters there to the first water source. So kind of halfway through, which is good. It's around, I don't know, 12:30, I think. Let's just have a look. 1:45, and there's until I think it's like 5 would be the last moment of daylight. So we've been walking, let's see for how long, 3 hours, and we have 4 hours left of sunlight. So I stopped to just make a coffee here, and I ate a bit of protein and some sweet stuff, some snacks. I'm quite tired because I slept very little last night, and before actually going on to the hike, I actually walked through the town for like, I don't know, 10 kilometers. The town was at elevation 150 or so, and plan is to get to 1,700 meters. It's not gonna happen today, I know that for sure. Unlikely, no way. We're just gonna get to the water source. That's the main goal, because I have, I don't know, 300 milliliters of water left. So just get to the water source, fill up on water, find a place to sleep, camp. I wonder if we're gonna see any snow, like probably not today, but tomorrow at 1,700 meters. Would there be any snow there? I'm not sure. Unlikely. There should have been snow everywhere, but hey ho. 2023 Europe, it's hot everywhere. Yeah, I think I've done pretty well so far, keeping wild animals away. Cause at night time, try to tax. They sneakier than alley cats. That's why I carry gats. Yo, I'm a motherfucking fugitive. Yeah, so I'm following the red line trail. It's a really long trail. I mean, it goes forever, really. Can I hear something? No, it's fine. I think it's just my slight sleep deprivation is creating sounds that are not there. Check it out there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we're going straight into those mountains there, which is awesome, and I'm really keen on that. Even though I've been singing and, you know, making loud noises and stuff. I did see 2 animals. It was like really small, but I mean bigger than a cat. You know, dog size, but they're not dogs. Definitely not dog. Defo, not dog. Really black. It's not like bear cubs. I don't think they were bear cubs. I thought it could be like a lynx, maybe, or some, I don't know, some f***ing ferret or some shit. I'm just like hearing shit, but that's fine. It's alright, mate. Continuing. An hour and a half before sunset. I diverged from the path. The path is going through there, so there's like all these rocks, and that's where the path is taking me through, and it's just like it's making like walking much more difficult. So I'm just going around it because, yeah, there's no point. Like, I figured it out after I went through one of those rocky ridges, and yeah, it was just horrendous. It took me like 15 minutes for the length of, I don't know, just very little. And it's just like, you know, challenging for no fucking reason. I know where the signs should be, and I know the general direction where I'm going, so should be fine. I've picked up the pace a bit, as you may see, because yeah, I just want to get there ASAP. Once we have the water, we'll put the shelter on somewhere which is decent and get everything ready, like, you know, start on the food. No, finally we're out of the woods. The spring should be somewhere around there, so it's just like, I don't know, 15 minutes away or something, hopefully. But this is great because finally I can walk on grass, as in the forest, and you can see that this path hasn't really been used. On the ground it was just dead leaves. That makes walking a bit difficult because you never know what you're gonna step on, and there's no, you know, definite path. Well, this is the trouble of walking through bloody leaves, because you never know what's below it and how deep it's gonna go. It's like, yeah, and it just makes walking surprisingly more difficult when you do this. But now it's just like, you know, it's a breeze on the grass. Still an hour left until it's gonna get dark, which is great. Oh, there's electrified fence here. It seems didn't get electrocuted, baby. Perfect. Always good. Yeah, now let's see where that bloody spring is. Do you know how that story goes? Went to the spring. Spring was dry. Well, yep. I mean, you know, there was water. But yeah, there's no way to fill a water bottle from there. More like a collection of micro puddles, I would call it. But that's fine because yeah, we're just gonna have to find another water source. I left all my luggage, my backpack, everything. I just have this, and the mission is to fill it up. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, worst come to worst, there's actually the church 3 kilometers away, so I mean, I'm not gonna die, you know. If anything, we'll just go to the church. God's gonna give you water. Moving, and it looks okay. So yeah, let's get water. So with a quarter of an hour to spare and a protesting stomach, we finally got water, and I found a spot. It's okay. I'm gonna put the camp here right now, cook, drink water, you know, all the good stuff. Yes. Look at that beautiful sunset in the meantime. It is gorgeous, gorgeous. And this is where we find ourselves. It's still not ready yet, but I have the outer layer, and yeah, I'm gonna put the inner layer as well. I don't know, it just helps me to feel safe, or even though it's just an illusion. I mean, it's a thin layer of nylon. It's not gonna do anything. Okay, so just have a little bit of tea here. This is the inner part of the tent. Sleeping bag here. That's where I'm gonna sleep. And damn, it is getting colder. I'm so curious how this sleeping bag will fare off in minus temperatures. It's gonna be an experiment. Should be fun. As you can see, the sun's already down. Just a little bit of glimmer of light left. Just one thing left to do, which is to tie the food somewhere very, very far away. Check out the bloody moon. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. It's very windy. I'm just making another tea here because yeah, all this commotion with the wind. But yeah, all in all, it's cool. I hope the wind chills at some point, or... Good morning. I managed to sleep, which is great. Windy, noisy. You know, when you're not used to sleeping in the woods. I haven't slept in the woods in a while. I'm just not used to the sounds. So you know, you think every sound you hear is a sound of a bear or a bloody boar. I don't know. But at some point, you know, like, I was hearing the same sounds, and it's like, okay, there was no bear, no boar until then, so there won't be anyone. There won't be one now. Now I'm just gonna get my food, which I'm hoping is still... The food is still here. Lovely. I'll show it to you. There you go. It's there. That's the church. So next to it, somewhere there, should be a water source. Look how beautiful these mountains are, though. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, I wanted to go up through there like that, but ain't gonna happen. We'll go to the church and then maybe go up like that and then down. I did find this running stream. Yeah, I think it should be fine. Wow, oh my god, what happened here? Everything fell down, huh? Look at these trees. They're all fallen. See? Like, they're all ripped apart. All of them. And makes me wonder if this happened yesterday. I don't know, because I mean the wind was very strong yesterday, especially at night. And you know, if it's an area where, like, you know, a lot of wind can get easily concentrated, then yeah, it could have happened. And there we have the church. Oh, and by the way, this sign to my right side, it's for a hut that belongs to the Talpes family, and it's a place that they offer accommodation and food, and they also have a small shop. I actually ended up there towards the end of the video and had a really, really amazing meeting with lovely Mr Talpesh. So yeah, just stay tuned for that for a bit later on. Yeah, took 1 hour and 10 minutes to get here on this beautiful route, and we will be climbing up the mountain today, hopefully getting to 1500 meters. You may recall yesterday I was very ambitious, getting to 1700 meters, 7 a.m. wake up, just, you know, leave things as they are, take it easy, always be rested. That's something good to keep in mind at all times. And yeah, let's move on. So now I'm just climbing 50 minutes away from the church, and now I'm just on the ridge that I could actually see from the day before where I camped. Yeah guys, so check this out. Here in front of me is the ridge from where the a wind was coming yesterday. It was just going down. I'll show you. Let me just show you everything here. Here, this ridge, and the wind was coming from that direction and going down the valley. Look, destroyed trees everywhere because of the wind. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I was there. Yeah, that's where I was. I was camping there yesterday. If you haven't guessed already from the bottom of your screen, if you guys remember yesterday, I was talking whether we would ever find snow. Well, here it is, guys. We have found snow. Which is kind of sad, really, because, I mean, it's middle of January. In the middle of January, there should have been snow everywhere, not just this. Look at this. That's all the snow, and we're at, I think it's 1300 meters altitude right now. It's getting late, but I keep getting distracted by all sorts of stuff. And look at this. You see, it's like a wall made of stone. And you know, initially, like as I've seen it from the outside, I thought, it's just like, you know, maybe the villagers are just putting all the stone together here, because I did notice that they have built a school using some stone. But now that I'm looking at it, it's like, you see, there's this drainage thing. Okay, so I am mumbling a lot here, and basically what I was trying to put across is that there's this whole area in the middle of the mountains where there are these walls made of stone. However, they look so neatly arranged that I don't think these only represent just some random walls, but I think at least in some locations, and you will see that this area is really big. I think there were at some point in the past some dwellings, some houses or something like that, maybe like a mountain cabin or something of this sorts. And what I'm trying to figure out, and you can see now that it extends far into the distance, like this whole area. What I'm trying to put across here is that this area is an amazing vantage point that finds itself roughly, let's call it like, I think it's 4 kilometers at most from the old border between Austro-Hungary and, Wallachia, or the Ottoman Empire, depending which age we're talking about. So this would have been in the Austro-Hungarian part. So I'm thinking, and you see that it's really really big, and I will climb up on the peak of this of the ridge, just at my back here, and you'll see that the vantage point is amazing for this place to have kept soldiers, like border agents during those times. So despite there not being any information whatsoever on the internet about this place, and I've looked everywhere, and even some villagers I've asked couldn't really explain to me what this is. I'm pretty sure this has something to do with the
Check out the
border.
view.
You can see
It's
it
beautiful.
here.
Let me show you guys.
You can see here the view. You can actually see, those ridges far away there. That's already what was at that time South Romania or the Ottoman Empire.
If I was the border force, I would definitely build something here, put some soldiers here, for times of war or stuff like that. It's a good place. The sun is gonna go down. We've been fooling around quite a bit, so we're late. This is the place where we're staying tonight. Popping the camp, putting everything right now. Boom.
As there was not much daylight left, I proceeded to set everything up. You can see here, just preparing the tent, and I also had a fire going. I used the fire to just make cooking faster. Once I did manage to eat something, it was already dark. I spent the rest of the evening just looking at the full moon and also checking out the stars, which unfortunately you can't see with my camera. And I stayed there until the fire went out, and then I went to bed, attempting at least to fall asleep.
It's finally day. I mean, what a cold night. Bloody hell. The most difficult time was at around 6 a.m. when is the coldest. Yeah, bloody hell. I woke up, I don't know, like 8 times, was just hoping, come on, when does it get light again? Beautiful. Yeah. So we're saying goodbye to this beautiful ruin where we stayed for the night, albeit a cold night. And now it's time to head back into town and catch the train, which I think it's at 5 p.m. Back in the tree line now, heading towards the first, I won't even call it a village because it's not, it's just like a 3-4 houses, something like that. That's where I camped. Literally, those are the rocks there, and just and the peak where I filmed before camping, and just at the base of that is where those ruins were, and I camped. So we went all the way from there through to here.
că întâlnirea noastră face foarte mult din anii de viață să reîntineresc.
Și dumneavoastră sunteți de aici, de aici v-ați născut,
Aici,
da? Da?
Eu
Wow.
am făcut servici 40 de ani la ocolul Silvii Băile Coloane.
A, da?
Pădurar,
Aha, aha.
toate zonile astea le cunosc.
A, și știți toate
Știu,
peste tot,
că eu vă
da?
spun și ca să știi pe la Roman, pe la Casa de Foc,
Aha.
ați luat culmea, și ați venit în Ai fost în șoprit.
Cușmița, fix la Cușmița
Exact,
am dormit,
eu,
acolo
uite,
am dormit.
uite, ai dormit.
La,
Azi noapte.
sub vârful Cușmița am fost
Da.
azi noapte, acolo am dormit.
Oltenii dincolo, regățeni, că noi am fost ungureni pe timpul aici. Până 1906,
Da?
ungureni am fost. Așa ziceau ungurenii, că aici au dominat Imperiul Austro-Ungar.
Aha.
Da.
A, și aici am partea
Aici,
asta,
domnule,
da?
până în râu Cerna.
Da?
Da.
A, deci aici erau austro-ungari.
Austro-Ungari, da.
Ia uzi, nu știam.
Au avut post de poliție pe aici așa, la o casă, aici așa.
Da?
Aici, da.
Aha.
Și cu partizani
Ia
au
uzi.
fost probleme.
Da?
Da, cu
Ia uzi,
partizani.
nu știam. Am auzit, mulțumesc.
Că și aici e lapte.
Am mulțumesc.
E lapte fiert. Vrei?
So, in this valley, I stumbled upon Mr. Talpesh's hut. Just there, you can just make it out through the tree line there. And we did stay for a while to just talk and hear all about his story, really interesting stories. But unfortunately, I didn't have much time as I had the train to catch.
So we met Mr. Talpesh, which were chatting. They're so nice, so nice. They gave me some coffee and some homemade cakes. The stories the guy had, you know, like I was in a bit of a rush, you know, unfortunately, because like he had so many interesting stories. This is a place where I will definitely come back because it's just, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. For 40 years he was a forest ranger, so he knows everything, all of these woods, everything. He knows all the routes, everything by heart. And yeah, that's where he lived. That's his home. Now he has this sort of camping spot for tourists, basically in his yard. It's crazy, you know, whenever you meet, or whenever I meet people in you know, isolated places, like far away from the hustle and the bustle, it's crazy, because it's always like, you know, they're the happiest, and they're the, you know, nicest people ever, and you know, really kind-hearted and just warm and welcoming, and yeah, and I think all these, you know, all these travels and everything, it's, you know, for these moments is what they're for. Like these sort of moments and meeting these sort of people, it's what makes travel worth it, I believe.